Are you tired of losing positions that you should win easily? In this video, you're gonna learn how to checkmate a king with a rook, with two bishops, and with a bishop and a knight. So the first one is very straightforward. It's a rook and king against a king, and hopefully everybody who's watching me knows this, but just in case, let's just show it. You basically try to create a box with the rook supported by the king. So here's our box right now, and we always try to make that box smaller for his king until we can suffocate his king and deliver the checkmate. So here, for example, we're gonna support the rook, and once again we're gonna support the rook. Now the box can become smaller, so we do it. Once again, we get closer with the king. Now go back. By the way, we're gonna play all of these endgames against a maximum level stockfish in chess.com. So this is 3200 rated. So these are theoretical wins for us, but it's gonna be annoying because it's gonna be stockfish. So we make the box smaller once again. We go here. Here we go here. Here. Now he has these two squares. We move here. Now we move here, here, and once the two kings are opposite to each other, we deliver the checkmate. Let's take another position, for example. It's always the same thing. We're trying to make the box smaller and smaller. Here, here. We support with a king, support again with a king, make the box smaller and smaller, suffocate his king, just continue. Yes, now we move the rook away on the 7th rank, so we make sure that his king cannot escape, and now we just try to put these two kings opposite to each other. So go here, goes there, let's go here, for example, waste a move, let's go here. He goes back there. Let's go here. We go here. He goes there. We move back, for example. Let's go here now. And we deliver the checkmate when the two kings are opposite to each other. So the second checkmate to learn is two bishops against a king, and the first step here is to try to control the four squares in the center of the board with the bishops. We don't really give a fuck about where his king is. We go here, and now we have the control of these squares with the two bishops, and then slowly we bring our king and we try to reach this position. The two bishops are in the center of the board, and step by step we're trying to improve our position by bringing the king around and suffocating his king more and more by, you know, zigzagging these bishops slowly up the board. So here, let's go here. Let's go here. Exactly, that's what we want. Let's go here. And in this position, for example, we are controlling all of these squares. And the idea here is to enter with the king and try to get more. And at this point, we're trying to move his king to one of the corners of the board. That's the only way we can checkmate with two bishops, is by moving his king into one of the corners of the board. Okay, so now we're trying to make him go to the corner of the board, because remember, first control the four central squares, then try to suffocate him and make the prison, this prison made by the two bishops, smaller and smaller, and then finally deliver the checkmate. So now he has only two squares, and that's why we're gonna move here. It's gonna move there. Let's do a waiting move. For example, this one. And then this, so that he cannot go to this square anymore. We take this away from him, I think. And now we deliver the checkmate, and we should be really careful with the stalemate. So for example, if now I move my bishop here, it's a stalemate, and we don't want to do that after all the work that we've done and the whole game we're pushing, and it's hard to get to this position even if you have two bishops. So please be careful here, think about it, and the way to do it, try to pause the video if you want and think about it. Okay, the way to do it is to do first a waiting move, like this move, and then to start with a check. He goes to the corner of the board, and then we deliver the checkmate. That's how you win with two bishops against a king. And the last pattern, guys, is the most nerve-wracking one, but I somehow learned how to checkmate with a bishop and a knight. Many masters cannot do it, they forget it. But I'm a 1300 player and I managed to learn it, and I'm gonna teach it to you guys. So please considering to like and subscribe, and that way you can have the same goal as me, which is to reach the 2000 elo in chess. We have a bishop and a knight against the king. The first thing that you have to put in your mind is the only way to checkmate this king is to move it to a light square corner, just like your bishop. Of course, if your bishop was on the dark squares, you're gonna move his king to the dark squares. And we're playing against Stockfish. So of course Stockfish is gonna use the 50 move rule to try to make me lose my moves, and that's how he will get a draw. And that's exactly why Stockfish, I suppose, is gonna run to the opposite corner of the board, and we're trying to get him to the other corner of the board so that we can checkmate him. So here's how we do it. The first thing is we're gonna make him go to a corner of the board, any corner, preferably this corner, but if he doesn't go there, there's nothing we can do really. I'm gonna use the king to help us do that. Let's go here. Let's see. There. And then here. Here to control this square. Now we enter with the king. This square is controlled by us. This. All of these squares are controlled by us. So now we're looking for the setup. The setup that we need, guys, is the knight here, okay, the king here, and the bishop just right here. So how are we going to do that? We need two moves for the knight, so we need the knight here and then here. So let's take control of these three squares first, and then let's move the knight here, and the bishop, let's waste a move. Okay, now we go here, and now the bishop is here. So this is our dream position, so that we can checkmate the king. From here on, it's gonna be a pattern that you have to learn, guys, okay? So you don't have to memorize it. I don't memorize it. I only understand how it goes, okay? So first of all, this king doesn't have many squares. He can only go here, here, or here. So first of all, we're trying to prevent him from going to this square so that we can slowly move him to the other corner of the board. And that's why we're gonna put the bishop here, but not right now. If we put it there right now, he'll just take it. So let's waste a move, then control that square. And here there is a pattern of how the knight moves, and that pattern you should memorize, guys. After you put the knight here, the beautiful pattern is like this. It's like a W, like the shape of a W, like a walk on the park. We're gonna use it so that we can checkmate his king. So now, and here he had two choices. Stockfish had two choices. The first one is to run away. The other one is to go back. So we're gonna take them one by one. Here he run away. So when he runs away, what should we be doing? So the first thing we should be doing is moving our king here, our knight here, and then bringing the bishop here so that he cannot run. He literally cannot run. He thinks he could run to the other corner of the board, but he cannot because these two squares are controlled by our knight, and all of these squares are being controlled by the bishop. Add to that our king, he cannot escape. So here we're gonna lose a move with a bishop, and then another one. And now when he goes back, we have to continue our work, continue the work with our king. Then we go here so that he cannot run away. Now we deprive him from going to this square, the E8 square. He cannot go there. So he moves to the other side of the board, and now we continue our normal way of playing. Let's go here. He goes there. Sorry, let's see. We go here first, exactly. Then we give the check, I think. He goes there, then we move here. We have to move here. Then he moves there. And then we give him the check, and he cannot run because all of these squares are controlled either by the bishop or the knight or the king. So he has to go back. And basically here he has only two squares, the A8 and the B8 square. And once we reach this position, it's over for him. We are winning because here we're only thinking of one thing. We have to avoid stalemates, and we have to keep him enclosed. We cannot let him run. So in this position, we're gonna reroute our knight here, and we're gonna position our bishop here, and that's how we deliver the checkmate. But we have to be careful, as I said. So first I'm gonna go here to try and reroute my knight, and he still has only two squares. Don't worry, as long as this bishop is here, we're good. And here I'm gonna do something very smart, which is I'm gonna lose a tempo. And then I'm gonna give a check with a knight, and then I'm gonna deliver the checkmate with the bishop on f3. Of course, you could do it like differently, but once he has only two squares, it's over for him. And now we're gonna see the second option. The second option, guys, is after I moved my knight back to make this W shape moves, he didn't run away here. He came back to the corner where he cannot be checkmated, and that's logical. But I think it's even worse for him because now I have a set of moves that will make him lose the game. We continue the W-shaped moves. We move with the king here. He cannot go back because controlled by the knight. We continue here. He moves back. We give the check with the bishop, and he has to go back. And here we continue. And now we have to waste a move, I think. Okay, he goes back. We give the check. And now we move our king. And it's gonna be soon game over. We have to take the square from him first. Oh, wait. No, we have to enclose her with our... yeah, we have to first close this a7 square for him, unless it's gonna be messy. So we place our king here first, and we're always thinking that he cannot escape. For example, before playing this move, I considered this move. But it's the wrong move because once I play this, he will go to the corner. But he could have gone here and it will be very messy. We don't want that. We don't want him to escape the corner. And that's why I said, you know what, let's first make sure he cannot run away. And then we give the check. And he cannot go to any squares because this is controlled by the knight. And now, as I said, once he has only 2 squares, it's easy peasy. It's just light work, okay? We're trying to reroute the knight. We lose a move here, check, and mate. And this is, guys, how you win a bishop and knight against the king. That's it for today, guys. If you find my videos helpful, click that subscribe and like button, and I will see you soon with more chess and with more tutorials. Bye.